Well, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know it's your girl, Ashley. Of course, y'all know I'm the creator of Black Girl Interrupted. And y'all know who I got with me again tonight. Introduce yourself, baby.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Jacory Colbert, the son of the creator of Black Girl Interrupted.
You better say that. Oh, you better say that. You better say that with some conviction. Yes. So what's up, y'all? Today is Tuesday. It's 420, y'all. Shout out to all my smokers. Well, the ones that smoke every day, not just your random smokers. But anyway, before we even, y'all already know tonight's discussion. But before we jump into it, I really just, I don't know how to feel right now. But before we jump into it, let me play this for y'all.
All rise for the jury. All right, please be seated. Members of the jury, I understand you have a verdict. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if these are your true and correct verdicts. Please respond yes or no. Juror number 2, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 9, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 19, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 27, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 44, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 52, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 55, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 79, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 85, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 89, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 91, are these your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror number 92, are these your true and correct verdicts?
This is called polling the jury.
Are these your verdicts? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Yes.
Members of the jury, I find that the verdicts as read reflect the will of the jury and will be filed accordingly. I have to thank you on behalf of the people of the state of Minnesota for not only jury service, but heavy-duty jury service. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to follow the deputy back into your usual room, and I will join you in a few minutes to answer questions. and to advise you further. So, all rise for the jury. Be seated. With the guilty verdicts returned, we're going to have Blakely, you may file a written argument as to Blakely factors within 1 week. The court will issue findings on the Blakely factors, the factual findings, 1 week after that. We'll order a PSI immediately returnable in 4 weeks. And we will also have a briefing on, after you get the PSI, 6 weeks from now, and then 8 weeks from now, we will have sentencing. We'll get you the exact dates in a scheduling order. Is there a motion on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, the state would move to have the court revoke the defendant's bail and remand him into custody pending sentencing.
Bail is revoked, bond is discharged, and the defendant is remanded to the custody of the Hennepin County Sheriff. Anything further?
All right.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
So there you have it. Derek Chauvin found guilty on all 3 charges: second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He is now being taken off to the Hennepin County Jail. Sentencing will take place in 8 weeks, about 2 months from now.
And it was a noticeable difference from Derek Chauvin's very stoic, non-emotional response to that verdict to the response from the crowd outside. Let's head outside now and check in with Charmaine Nero on the reaction of that crowd as word spread Derek Chauvin guilty on all 3 counts. Charmaine?
Y'all know I feel a little bit of sense of relief. Just a little bit of relief, because you do have to remember he had 3 co-conspirators with him as well that still have yet to go on trial. So am I happy that they found Derek Chauvin guilty? Absolutely, because now he's being held accountable for the crime that he committed. I think the prosecution did an amazing job. The medical examiners, the witnesses, the witness testimonies knocked the ball out the park. So salute to them. They are the real heroes. Y'all weigh in. Derek Chauvin, guilty. Let's talk about it. Y'all see I got my red on tonight? Y'all see I got my flame colors by Keish. Don't forget, y'all go holler at them. But on some real stuff. Let's have a real live conversation. He's been found guilty on all 3 charges. What are your thoughts? I'm going to start with you, son. What do you think?
Well, I'm glad that he's found guilty. It's a step forward for, people these cops being held accountable for their actions. And I hope the other 3 that were in on it, I hope they also get held accountable as too. Because even though 2 of them were on their back and one of them just stood by, that one person, even though he didn't technically do anything, he was still like a standby. He easily could have like stopped it or anything, but he didn't. So,
Right. So my first reaction when when they say the jury came back with a verdict, I knew he had to be guilty on one of the 3, 2 of the 3, but I never thought all 3. I thought at least maybe 1 or 2. I thought maybe they would have found him guilty on, the manslaughter, which is the lowest. And then I say, you know what? When you go back and you watch the trial, you watch the witness testimony, but it was the 9-year-old little girl that recorded this, and something was wrong. When the medical examiner said, even though meth was found in the system, fentanyl was found in the system, it still was not, they weren't lethal doses. But the fact that his air was restricted from the brain, which eventually stopped his heart, is what killed him. I knew then it was going to be a good movie. When it came down and I saw all three, I immediately got on the phone and text my mom, guilty. You know, I text my babe. No, I called him. He was like, what's up? I was like, guilty. He said, I knew that's what you was calling about. You was calling to tell me it was guilty. Yes. I texted my son. And as I texted my son, I had tears rolling down my face. Y'all know I'm a big old cry. But I had tears rolling down my face. Because I see we made a small step. And now we need to start continuing to hold these police accountable for their actions. Stop giving them a slap on the wrist. Stop letting them go home. Hold them accountable. Derek Chauvin is one of many. You know, so hey Brandon. Edwin says, thank God, right? Thank you, Jesus. Little brother Warren says, Bubba and Bob got a new friend. I hope they put him in GP. I think it's gonna happen. Maybe not immediately, but I think they'll go in GP. Warren say, I thought mistrial was the way it was going. You know, I won't say a mistrial. I knew, like I said, it was too much damning evidence to even let him walk. Because had they have let him walk, America would have been burning down right now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. America would have been burned, would have been on fire. The whole world was watching. You know, everybody was ready. We was on high alert. So, y'all already know. This was my favorite picture. That was my all-time favorite. I hit the floor, and I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." George Floyd can finally rest now. But again, we still have 3 more of the co-conspirators that have to be held accountable. So drop in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. So this is what he was found guilty of. He was found guilty of second-degree murder, second-degree unintentional, third-degree murder. So the second-degree all the years. The third-degree murder carries a maximum sentence up to 25, and then the second-degree manslaughter carries a max up to 10 years. So that's what? 75 years? Did I get that math right? Yeah. So that's a maximum of 75 years. Do I think he's going to get the max 75 years? No. So y'all drop in the comments. Y'all let me know, what do you think? What do you think his sentencing? And then they come back in 2 months for sentencing. So 8 weeks. He's got to sit in there. This was the ultimate picture right here. Was he didn't believe that he was going to be found guilty. I could immediately see the smug look under that mask. You know, I know he thought, they're not going to find me guilty. I'm going to go home. But in that moment, when they found him guilty of the first charge, and they read the second one and the third one, that smug look immediately left his face. And it was in that moment, if you look at this picture right here, it was in that moment, he knew shit got real for him. He knew it got real. He immediately knew it got real then. So, son, let me ask you. And you're right, Warren. We have seen a lot of situations with overwhelming evidence and they still walk. Yeah. Trayvon Martin, prime example. Orlando Castillo, prime example. You know, Alton Sterling, Breonna Taylor. The list just goes on and on and on and on and on. You think Tanner Floyd? I think he'll. I could see that. I could see that. But just know the appeal is coming. You know he's gonna file an appeal. So you know that part is coming. So, but like I said, there's my thoughts on it. You know, you know how y'all feel. Son, what did you think when you heard the guilty verdict? That he was found guilty on all 3 counts. But let me ask you this: before the verdict came, what were your thoughts?
When I first heard that they were about to do the verdict, I was like really, really nervous because I know like if they didn't find him guilty, like the world would just be in chaos. So I was like really scared, but I was also a little bit hopeful because, like you said, they had like clear evidence that he killed him, and there was no way that they could, like not charge him. So I'm glad that they did.
So let me ask you this, son: had they found him not guilty on 1, 2, or possibly all 3, how would that have made you feel?
Honestly, I'm not sure how I would have felt if he was like not found guilty for like any of them. I would have felt like, it's a sad world we live in, and this is like not a step forward but a step back. That we're just letting this person walk away free after killing a person. We let it happen like multiple times, and if it happened again, then it would have been like a slap in the face in what we've all been fighting for.
I just, again, as I, say, baby steps, baby steps, small steps. I'm really hopeful for the other 3 because now the other 3 know what they're up against. And they need to be held accountable. As you stated, 2 were on his, all 3 of them were on it. And then you had the one that just stood by and did nothing. On that day, I would have had to catch a charge. I probably would have bust Derek Chauvin in the head, something. Get off this man's neck. You sat on this man's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Guilty. I really don't even know what to say. Like, I want to be excited, but then it's like I don't want to be excited because, like I say, It could have went any way. It could have went either way. Let me say it. It could have went either way. I just, I sit and I think about you. I think about the other little black boys and the little black girls and the black women and the black men, and yeah, we celebrating, but it's not over. We're just getting started. Derek Chauvin. I saw somebody post and say he was the sacrificial lamb. Do you agree or disagree?
Mm. I guess you could say it's an example for him, saying that that he's not whoever or anyone that doesn't like this are not safe, that they will be held accountable for this. So I guess, yeah, in a way.
So let me ask you this, son. Let me collectively get my thoughts together because I just, like I say, I'm in a euphoric state, but I felt like they was gonna find him guilty. But for you, being a black man in America, what does that say to you?
That there's hope. There's hope in this world, even though all the bad stuff that's happening. It's that spark of hope that makes me happy, even though it may not be like a big spark. That tiny, tiny speck of hope. That's what I like.
Do you still? I'm trying not to get emotional, so y'all have to bear with me. I'm really trying to collectively get my emotions together, but because when I saw this, I think about this man whose daughter was robbed. That's what I think about. I don't care about George Floyd's past. I don't care. I think about this beautiful little girl who was robbed of her father so unjustly. I think about George Floyd and listening to him call out his mom as he lay dying in the street. That's what I think about. I think about the fact that Derek Chauvin had no regards for human life in that moment. That's what I think about. I pray for the Floyd family. That in that moment that he lay in the street for 9 minutes and 29 seconds with a knee on his neck, what was going through his mind. That's what I think about. The fact that Derek Chauvin didn't care. My heart aches for that family. It really does. And that's why I tell every black man in America, I love you. I walk with you. I pray for you. I carry you. I hold you. I'm your peace. When the world says y'all are not enough, I think you're everything. And in that moment, as I watched that trial, every day I watched it. The same way I watched Trayvon Martin's trial, Jordan Davis, and all the thousands of trials of black men that were unjustly murdered by the police. I watch and I weep. You know, like I told you the other day, I weep for you. I pray for you. I pray every day that you walk out that door, that you come back to me. I really can't even imagine how that family is feeling. You know how that baby is feeling. I know her pain. I know what it's like to lose a father. But to lose my son, that's for you, Jacoby.
Much love and respect to you, Warren.
Just know I love you. You're everything. And I'll do whatever I have to do to protect you. I pray I never get a phone call. I hate I have to have these conversations with you. I wish you could just be a normal 20-year-old young man that doesn't have to fear for his life every day he walks out the door. So that's how this verdict makes me feel. I pray. I pray hard for you. I pray hard for me. I pray hard for your sisters. I pray hard for every black man, every black woman, every black girl, every black boy in America. I pray these hashtags have got to stop. We also have another protest that we're going to go to for Pamela Turner. That was the lady that was murdered here in Houston. Back in 2019, she was having a mental illness crisis and the police shot her in the face, the chest, and the arm, I believe. So we're definitely going to go out for that to get justice for Pamela Turner. Miss Angela said she just loves you so much. That's my rock, y'all. That's my baby. Janelle said, "Hey, baby." And they say, "Hey, sis." Yes, I did hear about Ma'Khia Bryant. 15 years old, was just killed in Columbus, Ohio. She called the police because she was being assaulted, and the police came and killed her. So say her name, Ma'Khia Bryant, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, she was killed no sooner than the verdict of Derek Chauvin came. He says, "Thank you for tuning in." You're right, Angela. No more hashtags. No more hashtags. None. I'm so sick of hashtags. I'm so tired of seeing these unarmed black men be murdered. I'm tired. Black boys, black girls, black women But again, Derek Chauvin was found guilty today. Let's talk about it. How do y'all feel? How do y'all really truly feel about that? Keep letting me know in the comments. But yes, again, let me go back. Ma'Khia Bryant, 15 years old, was just murdered. Again, she called the police. She was being assaulted, and the police came out and they killed her. 15 years old in Columbus, Ohio. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. We love Ma'Khia Bryant. We love you. Prayers to the family. So I found this post on Facebook that I really want to talk about. So let me move this out the way. So someone posted and said, I want to say this before the verdict comes out. It's not justice if Chauvin is convicted. That's a murderer facing just consequences. The real justice is addressing the system that allowed this to happen at all, and we're not close to that. Let's talk about it. How do you feel about this, son?
I guess what he means. I understand what he means. Yes, we got this, but we need to also, fix this whole system so this won't ever happen again. Even though, like I said before, another one just happened. So
Literally, today.
So yeah, the fight is not over. We still got a lot of work to do to make sure things are set right for us.
Police reform.
Mm-hmm.
Police reform. So to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, I'm going to say this again. Police reform needs to be at the top of the list. Amongst all the other things, but you need to put police reform in your top 5. That needs to be a priority because, again, we just lost a 15-year-old little girl today. Ma'Khia Bryant. We just lost a 13-year-old, Adam Toledo. We lost a 20-year-old, Dante Wright. So it's time to start convicting these murderers. Like this comment, like this just said. The real justice is addressing the system that allowed this to happen at all, and we're not close to that. It's time. The whole justice system needs a complete overhaul. And it just, now maybe people will understand why Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Because of things like this. No disrespect to the flag, but this is why Colin Kaepernick took a knee. For the injustice of African American men, women, boys, and girls. That's why he took a knee. This is why we march. This is why we protest. This is why we burn stuff down. It's like you care more about buildings and businesses than you do human life. But again, this judicial system was not set up for us anyway. I do want to say shout out to the good cops. Middle finger to the bad ones, to the rogue ones, the ones that stand by, say nothing, and do nothing. So I really want to, like I say, Derek Chauvin was found guilty today on all 3 charges. Will we be able to rest tonight? Will we be able to arrest? You know, that's what I want to know. Here's the $1 million question. So drop in the comments. Was justice really served today? That's what I want to know. Teresa says, love y'all, sis. Keep your head up, young man. That's for you, Pooh.
Yeah, I'm keeping my head up.
What you say? Go ahead.
I said, yeah, I'm keeping my head up.
So Miss Angela says, I feel like it is a glimmer of hope, but I'm skeptical because I feel like he won't get the jail time he deserves. That goes back to Warren's comment. Let me go back to Warren's comment. Warren said, he said 10 to 40 just because of the police union. So let me ask you this, son. So they found Derek Chauvin guilty. We're gonna talk about that again. Do you think this sends a message to the other police officers?
Oh yeah, it does. Like I said before, it's setting him example for them to know, like, you know, they're not going to get away with this anymore, no longer. Like, if you ever, do anything like this again, you will face the consequences for those actions, no matter what, your wife says about you, what your friend says about you, anyone who says, oh, they're such a good person, they would never do anything like this. Like, and plus we got our phones, so you can't really lie. No.
So let me ask you, son. Do you think had video surveillance? Had anybody been out there with the cameras? Do you really think justice would have been served today?
If there weren't any cameras? No, I don't think so.
So even with the testimony,
actually, maybe,
okay,
maybe.
explain.
I don't know. Because it clearly shows like how he had his knee on him, but I think if they didn't have it, they won't like have a clear idea on how he had his knee. He'll probably say, "Oh, I had my knee on, like, not on his neck, but like on his back or something." They would like try to twist the story up.
When I tell you, I just, son, I'm just, I don't know. I won't say I'm speechless. I just really don't know what to say. I don't know how to really truly feel. Go tell Jamara to come in. I want her input on this.
Okay.
Let me see what she has to say. I want to get all my children's input on this. Leave that little one. Don't you call that little one. Leave that little bad one over there. Y'all drop in the comments. Do y'all think justice was served today? And what happens next? We have to wait 2 months for him to be sentenced. But the good thing about it, his bail was revoked. So no bond for him. He's got to sit in there until his sentence date. So y'all drop in the comments. Let me know y'all thoughts. I want to know how y'all feeling tonight. What are you feeling? What do you have to say about this? What do you have to say? What are your thoughts? Continue to drop them in the comments. Let me know. And in the meantime, let me do my oh, there go that little girl.
Here you go.
Look at my little grandpa. Oh, look at my grandpa, y'all. Hey, boo. Hey, lips. So, Derek Chauvin was found guilty today on all 3 charges. How do you feel?
Happy. And it should be like that for these other I don't know if it's cases or something like that. I don't know. For the rest of these victims that were killed. Precious.
So, I was asking your brother,
Hmm.
do you feel like justice was really served today?
It's a yes and a no. But I mean, I'm glad that anyways. But I'm happy that he was found guilty. But it don't really bring George back though. And that's the sad part.
Oh my God. Put that little thing down. Get on, Grandpa. No, that's my grandpa. Anyway, but really though, you say yes and no. Explain.
I say yes because like he was found guilty, and I've been waiting to hear that.
It gives closure for the family.
Yep. But it still doesn't bring him back though, and that's the sad part.
Well, for me, I'd say no because we still have cricket cops in the force and everything, and I feel like with him, I'd say like I said, he's an example to other cops like this. That you're gonna get caught and there will be consequences.
Yeah. To be honest, cops like that needs to be held accountable, and not to be let off the hook because this is the suspension and being fired. No. They need to be charged, just like how Derek was. And also with George Zimmerman, he should have not been found guilty. I mean, he should have been found guilty instead of being found not guilty.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
so let me say this. Do you think it would stop if the police started killing white kids?
That one I don't believe because with cops, I believe they have a supremacist view, not like a race supremacist views, but like a supremacist views of being superior to others and want this person to do exactly what, or they want everyone to listen to them. They want them to be they want to be the boss of everyone. They want people to follow in line to what they say
And have power.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at?
So you don't think if little white kids started being murdered, the police would stop?
I don't think they would.
No, I believe they would still like abuse that power that they have.
Yeah.
Just so bad. I hear her breathing. I hear more of her breathing than I hear you talking. So
She's doing that because I'm in here. Shush.
But so what happens next now?
I mean, for his family, I mean, they got closure, but I know like they're still hurting because they lost. Oh my God. But I forgot what I was saying.
Saying that'll bring closure to his family.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sit there.
Girl, sit down, girl. Have this conversation with your mama, girl. Come on, let's talk about it.
Um,
Come on, sister soldier. Let's get political here.
um, what I think happens next, I mean, like I said, brings closure. Welcome. I had to sit. I mean, it brings closure, but they're still hurting.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked your brother. Do you think them finding Derek Chauvin guilty sends a message to other police officers out here? Because just an hour or so ago, we have a 15-year-old little girl, Ma'Khia Bryant, who was just killed by the police.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
We have Dante Wright that was just killed. We have Adam Toledo that was just killed. How
We
does
still
that
have
make
work to do.
It hurts. Like, kids younger than me, also the same age as me too, like, and also older too, is like, it hurts.
Like, it doesn't even matter like what they were doing. It's just the fact that they just straight up killed them without, like, you know.
And that video that I saw, is it Adam Toledo? Did I say right?
Yeah.
Okay, Adam Toledo. And like in the video, the cop said, "Put your hands up," and that's what he did. And then you gonna kill him?
Didn't even give him a second.
Didn't even like give him a chance to do that. And that's why I can't stand with these cops. They be like, "I feared for my life." No, you didn't. You didn't fear for your life.
Talk about it.
Like, it just makes me mad. I'm tired of it's like I can't even watch the news anymore because I'm tired of seeing Black kids being killed for no reason.
Or police just think they could just get away with just abusing their power.
Yeah, just getting away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you sleep at night? No, you just killed somebody's child.
Or harass someone.
Yeah, like, how do you sleep at night? And like, I'm just tired. It's like, no matter how hard we fight, it's like we can't. But I don't care. We're gonna continue fighting no matter what.
Nothing already. So when you go out of the house, Jamali, and you see a police officer, what do you think?
I get scared.
Yes, Mommy.
I get scared. Even like when we like pass by them in a car, I still get scared. Cause also like when they have their lights on and if they turn around, whatever, I get scared. Cause it's like, oh, they're gonna pull us over.
And like it shouldn't be like that, but it in reality we live that way.
Exactly, and they always say we're here to protect you and serve and protect you, but no, you killing us.
And they want to be judge, accuser, and executioner. Judge, jury, and executioner. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, how are you protecting us, but you're killing us? How you want me to feel protection from you? No, I'm scared of you.
And that's not the way I want you to be. You know, when it comes to the police, because not all of them are bad. The ones that are bad are the ones that stand by and don't say anything.
I remember looking up about that, and it's like some code blue wall or something where it's some like, yeah, there you go, code of silence.
I think I pray more for my children than I pray for me. I would really lay my life on the line for y'all. Because they, like, not only are they killing men, but they're killing girls too. Like I said, Ma'Khia Bryant, murdered today, 15 years old. I look at a Tatiana Jefferson. I look at Sandra Bland. I look at Rakia Boyd. I look at Breonna Taylor. The list goes on. I think about Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Alton Sterling. I even go back as far as Rodney King. And that was way before y'all were born. But the thing about it, the cops have been they've been doing this. It's just now we have cell phones and we're able to record these things. But it's almost like that's not even good enough. When you go back and think about Trayvon Martin, they told George Zimmerman, stand down, we got the police on the way. But you killed this 17-year-old boy.
It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. You look at Freddie Gray. Freddie Gray was running away. He was shot in the back. You look at Alton Sterling. Standing in front of a store trying to make an honest living. Killed. Tamir Rice. 12 years old. Killed. Botham Jean killed in his house, sitting in his living room. Ahmaud Arbery, jogging through a neighborhood, was hunted down like a dog and slaughtered in the street. My heart weeps for these families. Because I have to have this conversation with my children when y'all go off into the world. Don't do this, don't do that. Make sure you keep your hands so they can see. Don't wear your hoodie. Put the hat part down off your head so they can see your face. Put your hands up, but it's almost like even though I sit and I have this conversation with you, they still kill you. So it's almost like, what's the point of having this conversation? If I tell you to comply, they still kill you. You don't comply, they still kill you. So you can't win for losing. My babies, I pray that y'all live long enough to have your own children and to live long enough to see your children have children. I pray. I pray that if you ever stop by the police, that you make it home. I can't even have normal conversations with y'all. I gotta have conversations with y'all about this. I have to talk to y'all about what to do and what not to do. Stay together in a group. Don't go separate. You see the police, don't run. But even though you do all of that, they still kill you. You can't even call the police now without them coming and killing you. Ma'Khia Bryant was 15 years old. She called the police. She was being assaulted. The police came out and killed her. You can't even sit in your house and eat ice cream. Bottom jeans. You can't even leave your back door open without fear of being killed in your house. A Tatiana Jefferson was playing a video game with her nephew. You can't even go to the store to get a snack. Trayvon Martin. You can't cut your music up loud anymore. Jordan Davis. We can't even play cops and robbers like we used to. Tamir Rice. You can't even celebrate your wedding. Sean Bell. You can't be an upstanding citizen and comply when the police ask for your information. Orlando Castillo. It's like they don't want us to have rights. You get pulled over. I do everything you tell me to do. I can talk to you any way you want, any way I want to. Sandra Bland. You're in your home sleep, somebody kicks in your door and they murder you. And they walk over your body like it ain't nothing. Breonna Taylor. We can't even be civil rights activists. We can't even get out and march and protest and quarantine. Y'all know I know the story. I'm familiar. Rekia Boyd was murdered in Chicago by an off-duty police officer. I know these names. I just pray my children's names don't end up on that list. I pray I don't see another black child's name on the list. Today was just a small victory. But we got a lot of work to do. And I hope I live long enough to see the change. I'll do everything in my powers to keep my children protected. And that's the honest truth. Just come home to me. When you go out and you hang with your friends, be good. Again, when the verdict came down today, the tears ran down my face. It did. To see George Floyd's family on TV today, it's far from being over. It's far from being over. Again, we have 3 more police officers that we got to deal with. They still have to stand trial. They still have to. I pray. My heart, my mind He's in a million pieces. And look at this young man. It's Adam Toledo. 13 years old, shot in the chest. And look at that. And then I go right back and I look at this. Guilty on all 3 charges. So what happens next for us? Will there be police reform? Is this a possible step in the right direction? That we're now going to start holding, that the system is going to start holding these police accountable, these murderers accountable, these murdering police, let me say that.
All we can do is hope and pray that it does, and hopes that this situation never happens again to anyone.
Well, we just had it happen today. We just had it happen today. It's absolutely a small victory and a long way to go. We've been on this road since the beginning of time. And we've yet to get justice. I really feel like had they have made George Zimmerman an example, had they made the police officer that killed Oscar Grant an example, the police officer that killed Philando Castile, he should have been made an example. Because Philando Castile, he complied. Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. When is it gonna end? When is it gonna stop? And it starts with us too. We need to get out. We need to vote. So you're old enough now, Jamara. You're 18. You can vote. When it comes to your local, your local councilman. Your city councilman. Your elected officials. You can get out and you can vote for them. If we get out here and we continue to march, we continue to protest, we continue to allow our voices to be heard, we really could make a change. But I'm going to be so honest with you. I wouldn't call justice being served today, but like that message said, a murderer was just held accountable for his actions. That's what that was. A murderer was held accountable for his actions. And now he's got to pay the consequences. So let me ask you, Jamari.
Mm-hmm.
So let me put this back up on the screen. Let me take this down and let me put this up on the screen. How does that picture make you feel?
Oh,
Sorry.
you're good. All right, when I see that picture, I just smile because he's finally paying for the consequences. but other police officers that did what he did should be held accountable as well. And I would like to see them in handcuffs as well.
So let me ask you this. The police officer that's taking his colleague to jail, how do you think he feels? What do you think he's thinking in that moment?
That he doesn't want to put him, that he doesn't want to send him to his jail cell or something like that. That he feels bad for him.
I thought that too.
But let it be a black man, he would not even care.
Right.
He would be heartless.
So when you see this again, so I'm gonna ask you this. So I posted this. Tell me what you think about that. It says, I want to say this before the verdict comes out. It's not justice if Chauvin is convicted. That's a murderer facing just consequences. The real justice is addressing the system that allowed this to happen at all, and we're not close to that. What do you think?
He ain't wrong because the whole justice system is messed up. It's been messed up since like before I was even born. And it's still messed up now. And I feel like it's going to continue to be like that for many future generations. And so, yes, the justice system needs to be held accountable as well. And not just like the cops as well. No, both needs to be held accountable and not just one.
I just love how vocal and outspoken y'all are. I love being able to sit down and have these conversations with y'all because this is real life. You know, let me see if I could go. Can I grab that picture? Let me see. I'm trying to see. Hold up, I'm trying to pull that picture. That's not it. I want to show you something. I'm trying to remember where I put it. Is this it? There it goes. There you go. Those are the 4 police officers that were complicit in the murder of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have found Derek Chauvin guilty. So we can X him out. But the other 3. The 2 in the middle were on his back. The gentleman at the end stood by and watched. Let's talk about it real quick.
My question is, where's the other 3 officers at? One got convicted of murder and found guilty. Where's the other 3?
Well, their trial is coming. If I'm not mistaken, I believe their trial is in July or August, I believe. But I know their trial is this year.
Good. Because one can't go down because the 4 of y'all were there. There's video proof that they were in it.
Right. So, do you think that they'll be found guilty too?
I hope so.
I feel like they're not. But I really hope they do get found guilty because, like I said, there's video proof that they were there participating in murdering George Floyd.
Because again, those two in the middle were the two that were on his back. The gentleman, like I said, at the end was the one that stood by
Mm-hmm.
and did nothing.
He just let it happen.
Right. It wasn't you're hearing this man tell you he can't breathe. You're hearing this man tell you, I'm afraid. But yet, you stood by and you watched your colleague murder.
And laughed.
Okay. Let me change that. Your colleagues. And yet you did nothing. Nothing at all. You did nothing.
He just stood there and just looked at him. Like it was nothing.
Like George Floyd was nothing.
Stop. Look at you.
So,
Stop.
like I was telling your brother, in that moment, I could just imagine what George Floyd was feeling and what he was thinking in that moment. So again, my question remains. Was justice really served, and what happens next?
I don't think justice was served. Because like I said, if they can get held accountable, then the justice system needs to be held accountable as well.
Prison reform is another. I mean, police reform, not prison reform. Police reform is definitely needs to be put at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely needs to be put at the top of the list. Absolutely. No ifs, ands,
Or buts.
or what's about it. Definitely my thoughts. So we roll into the final thoughts for tonight. Derek Chauvin was found guilty today. What would have happened had he not been found guilty?
He would have been let free, just like how George Zimmerman was let free and like act like nothing happened. He would have did the exact same thing too.
So, like I told your brother, this picture right here says it all. That moment, Derek Chauvin knew shit had got real. He knew he wasn't going home. That was the first time throughout this whole entire trial that I saw him show any kind of emotion. It was that moment. In that moment, he showed some type of emotion. So I could just imagine, what was going through his mind. I'm pretty sure it was all types of things being said under that mask.
Mm-hmm.
I could just imagine. But I think right there in that moment, Derek Chauvin knew he wasn't going home. When he heard that first guilty verdict, his whole face changed. But again, I don't care about him.
No one cares about himself.
This is who I care about right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I care about. So as I roll into my final thoughts for tonight, anything you want to say?
I don't even know. It's just a lot to process. But like I said, I'm happy that he's found guilty, but it's like I feel like it's not enough. It just feels like they're just saying that. Like, how you gonna wait? But if it was like I said, if it was a black person that did this, they would have been quick with it. They would automatically sentence him to life. You got life already, or death penalty.
But you know, there was a police officer, a black police officer that killed a white woman.
I think I heard about that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he was charged with second-degree murder. No other charges. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was found guilty. You see how that works? But you have Officer Potter that murdered Dante, who mistook her gun for a taser for a gun. And she's only been charged with second-degree manslaughter. Go figure.
Should have been charged with more.
Right. So we're going to pray for the Attorney General to step in the murder of Dante Wright. Before I close, I want to send an abundance of love and prayers to the family of Ma'Khia Bryant. Ma'Khia Bryant was the 15-year-old young lady that was killed today in Columbus, Ohio by the police. What I was reading, she was being assaulted and she called the police. Police came out, they killed her. So my heart, my prayers, and my love go out to the family, again, of Ma'Khia Bryant. Save her. Ma'Khia Bryant, say her name. Hey, Big Low. Good to see you. Y'all go tap in with my brother, Big Low Country Sports, on YouTube. Y'all want some good football talk? Or let me correct it. Some good sports talk. Go holler at my boy, Big Low Country. Follow him. Get his subscribes. Run it up. Get them views up on it. Get it up. That's my brother. So your final thoughts for tonight, Ladybug. What you want to say?
My thoughts and prayers go out. Anyways, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families that lost their loved one for no reason. And it just hurts because it makes me fear for my life. That's why, like, I don't even go out anymore. And that hurts. Because, like, I want to have fun, but it's like, with these killings from these cops, it's like, I don't even know what to do. It's like, I'm just stay inside, but cops will kill you inside your house too as well. So it's like, I'm not even safe anywhere.
You just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, absolutely. Because look at Botham Jean. Was in his home, chilling, minding his own little business, eating a bowl of ice cream, and Amber Geiger walks in and kills him.
For no reason.
Because she mistook her house for his house. Hey, let's get it, GA. Good to see you, love. Good to see you. But yeah. It's you're not safe anywhere. Like I said, you comply, you die. You don't comply, you die. So which one is it? I'm asking a for real serious question. Y'all can't have it both ways.
Because you tell us to comply, but you still kill us.
Right.
So I'm just like, what you want me to do?
You look at Pamela Turner. Pamela Turner had a mental health crisis out there in Baytown, Texas. She was on the ground. No weapons. She was shot in the face, the chest, and the arm, I believe, is what they said. This happened in 2019. Pamela Turner. Say her name. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Say her name. It's always good to see you. Let's get it. Thanks for tuning in with your girl tonight. Shout out to my boy Big Low again. Big Low. Let's get it. Say what's up, coach. But it's enough is enough. So I'm gonna end it like this. To every black man, to every black woman, to every little black girl and every little black boy, I pray for you. I hold y'all so tight and so dear to my heart because I have 3 black children that live in this unjust world. That know I can't shield y'all from what goes on in the world. I can only educate y'all and ask God to keep y'all covered. That's all I can do. I can't walk with y'all everywhere y'all go. Again, I can only ask God to keep y'all covered. And hope and pray that if you ever do encounter the police, you make it home. To my 3 beautiful black children, your mama loves y'all.
Oh, too.
To the black man, I say this to y'all over and over again. I love y'all. I need y'all. The world needs y'all. To the black women, I see you, sis. The world needs you. To the little black boys and the little black girls, I pray y'all live long enough to grow up to be black men and black women. Let's get it safe. That he has his conversation with his son all the time, his 11-year-old son all the time. And I can't stress it enough. It's so sad that these are the conversations we have to have with y'all. All because you're black in America. I gotta tell you how to act. I gotta tell you what to do, what not to do if you encounter this. And trust that they don't kill you if you blink the wrong way. I pray that they don't put hands on y'all. I pray that they don't murder y'all. That's what I pray for. I pray that y'all don't become another hashtag. I pray that you're not another face that scrolls across CNN.
Versus
So to Derek Chauvin, you murderer. I pray that every day you lay in that cell, George Floyd haunts you for the rest of your life. To the family of George Floyd, we love you. To his baby girl, Gianna, we love you. If no one knows what it's like to lose a father, I do. So I pray for this little girl who got limited time with her father because he was killed by an egotistical, narcissistic, and
Precious.
to every other black boy, black girl, black woman, black man who's lost a loved one to the police. I do pray justice comes your way. To the other black men, black women, black boys and girls that are murdered by the police that we don't hear about, I pray for you. I just ask y'all gotta let me get my emotions together. I pray for police reform. I absolutely pray for that. If you're a little man with a big ego, don't become a police officer. If you were bullied in school, don't become a police officer. If you're racist, although we can't decipher between the two, don't become anything. That's a joke. But really, like I see, just a little small step, a little small victory. Not a major victory, not a big victory, but a small. Maybe we are headed in the right direction. Who's to say? Start holding these officers accountable. Start hitting them where it financially hurts. I think for every cop that's been convicted of murder, I think their pension should go to the families. That's what I see. Ja'Cory Big Low say, don't take the dog out the room. She down with the struggle too. She surely is. My grandpa, no.
Ever.
Don't do my grandpa.
Y'all can have her.
Leave my grandpa alone. I'm gonna come get my baby.
The baby.
Bring her here. But really though. So to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all the other elected officials, police reform needs to be on your desk yesterday. It should have been on your desk yesterday, but we need to address that today. That needs to be at the top of the list. And let your voices be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, don't forget, every Tuesday, every Thursday night, y'all tap in with your girl. 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all know what to do. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe. I'm on every streaming platform. Hit the little grandpa. Hey, Shan. Hey, boo. We definitely need to talk. We need to connect. Definitely have to catch up. But tonight's episode was supposed to have been on substance abuse. Go figure on 420. So I pushed that episode to tomorrow night. So I'm going to go live tomorrow night. We're going to do our substance abuse. Thursday, we are talking about sexual abuse. And we're talking to the men when it comes to sexual abuse. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we will talk about substance abuse and how it affects the Black community. What can we do to find other ways to cope with pain instead of running to drugs and alcohol? That's how we're going to round up the month. We're going to finish with mental health. But I had to come on tonight. I had to make this episode imperative tonight. Because George Floyd could have been your brother, your uncle, you know, your cousin. Thank you. And no, I don't. I appreciate the comment, the compliment. I'm sorry. Thank you, sugar. But yeah. So y'all know y'all can follow Black Girl Interrupted. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, YouTube. I'm on all the streaming platforms. As y'all see, I got my children with me tonight. That's my daughter Jamari. Hey. Hi. My son. Come down in the camera so we can see his face.
She said, "Come down in the camera." She said, "Come down in the camera."
Oh. Mm-hmm.
There go my son. Do you have any final thoughts for tonight?
No, not really. All I hope is that we finally start getting these cops, holding these cops accountable, especially the one that just happened recently today.
I do too. I pray for justice. Like I say, even for the unnamed black men and black women, black girls and black boys that we don't hear about, I pray justice prevails for them too. I really honestly do. I pray for them and the rest of the family out here in the world. So again, y'all, tune in with your girl. I'm gonna go live tomorrow night. Again, we're talking about substance abuse. R.I.P. to DMX, who was introduced to crack at the age of 14 by his mentor, and he couldn't shake the addiction. We're gonna talk about how that affects the community, how that affects the household, and how can we shake that? How can we find other ways to cope without turning to drugs and alcohol? So yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all subscribe to your girl on YouTube, y'all. Black Girl Interrupted. Put it in. Set those notifications so you don't miss another episode. And like I say, I'm going live. So 3 nights. So tonight, Wednesday, and Thursday, I will be live. Check in with your girl. And then I got some amazing things coming up for the month of May. So I want to say to my children, I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you
I
too.
pray for y'all.
Chase said she loves you too.
Appreciate for y'all being so smart and full of wisdom, and being able for us to sit down and have these types of conversations, because they're needed. You know, am I sad that I have to have these conversations with you? Absolutely. But they're needed. They're warranted. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming on the show with me tonight. Hopefully y'all will tune in tomorrow night. Like I say, substance abuse. Tomorrow night is tomorrow night's topic. Yes, the day after 420. It was supposed to have been tonight, but y'all know I had to jump on this. Derek Chauvin was found guilty. All 3 counts. All 3. Let me go and pull that back up on the screen one more time.
That's what we
He was
like
found
to
guilty of
see.
2nd-degree unintentional murder. He was found guilty of 3rd-degree murder. He was found guilty of 2nd-degree manslaughter. Again, the first charge, 2nd-degree unintentional murder, carries a maximum sentence up to 40 years. 3rd-degree murder carries a maximum sentence up to 25 years. 2nd-degree manslaughter carries a max sentence of 10 years. So he's looking at 75 years max. Will he get sentenced to 75 years? This is ultimately a picture that will forever remain, and that needs to be put in the textbooks. Police officer being held accountable. I'm sorry, a murderer being held accountable for what he did. In that moment, I felt a sense of relief, because now we have another animal off the streets. Absolutely. So as we end this, Shannon says they'll probably run the sentence concurrently, so the max will be 40 years. Possibly. But do you think he'll get 40 years? We have to wait 2 months to find out. 8 weeks they come back for sentencing. You still have to wait. But again, as I stress, do not get overly excited. We have found 1 guilty. We still have 3 more we have to deal with. So before we get ecstatic, we have 3 more. We have 3 of his co-conspirators that we have to find guilty too. And then it will really be justice for the family of George Floyd. So, on that note, I'm going to end it with this photo. Because, again, in that moment, Derek Chauvin knew it had gotten real. He knew it had gotten real. So, also, don't forget, y'all, Ma'Khia Bryant, say her name. She was a 15-year-old young lady that was killed today in Columbus, Ohio. Ma'Khia Bryant, say her name. Love, hugs, and prayers to the family of Ma'Khia Bryant. Love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I love y'all. Thank y'all for always continuing to tune in. Thank y'all for all the love and continuous support that you guys show me week in and week out. I absolutely appreciate it. Black Girl Interrupted wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for the viewers, the subscribers, and all the people outside. So I love you guys. Everyone have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.